Well, here we are. June 2nd, I believe, is today. It's Tuesday. And we are at Prairie Creek Campground. This is just east a little bit of Rogers, Arkansas. And I had to go through recreation.gov to get the reservation. So let me pause just a second here while a truck goes through. Oh, okay, now he's through making noise, I guess. And the site that we have is number 67, and actually pretty good site, even though it's right on the intersection here of two streets. It actually is very quiet. That's the loudest thing I've heard, is this guy buzzing through here looking around. Almost everybody here is in tents. Hardly any RVs. There's a couple of trailers down there, but a lot more tenting people. So this site would be a good one here. I'm not sure if that's 68 or 66. We're in 67, but this would be a really good spot. Long pullback, a little bit downhill on the back, but still no problem. I didn't have any real issues backing in here. It worked fine. I had to go over the backstop just a little bit so I could just get my truck in. It's a little tight. So again, we have a 2109S. I call it 22 feet long. With the truck attached, it's 40 feet. So we're going to go look around the area and hopefully find some Civil War stuff to look at today. And we'll fill you in on those. Now we're about 11, 12 miles from the campground. This is War Eagle Creek, I believe it is, or War Eagle River. It has flooded up this high here before, but this is very, very pretty. This is really cool. This is the War Eagle Mill, and it got burned down, I think 3 times. Twice by Confederates and once by an unknown cause. This is the 3rd building, and really interesting. They have a restaurant in there, but it's, of course, closed right now. So this is definitely worth coming up for, especially if you could eat. Very nice here. Hoping the wind isn't too bad, but this is down by the marina, and there's some picnic areas out along there. And like I mentioned, this is just a huge, huge lake. It just goes on and on. Beaver Lake, I think, is the name of it. And then there's some launches going over that way and over the hill. A lot of parking area here. We'll see if we can get a little better shot of that area. So I'm over on the other side now. This is the fishing tournament weigh-in station. So they must have a lot of fishing events going on around here. And going across that little bridge, that's where I was just a little while ago. Took a picture of the deer. There's a JJ's cafe or restaurant or something over there. It'd be a place to eat. There's the boat launches. There's a campground, another one with an area over there for RVs and campers. I saw a 5th wheel. I'm sorry, a Class A in there. But pretty steep hills around here, but you can get around. Hey, just put it in low gear. While we're at it, the fridge is in desperate need of defrosting. Ooh. Yeah. Okay. So, I'll just show you how I do it. And the first thing we're going to do before defrosting the fridge is check the drain on the back, or the drain wherever yours happens to be. You know, make sure that's not plugged up, that the screen opening is clear. I pull mine out just a little bit. Usually I let it sit about right there, but I'm going to just pull it out a tiny bit there, and that's so the water will drain out. Alrighty, We got everything out of the fridge and covered up. That isn't really all that important whether it's covered up. Boiled a nice big old pot of hot water. And I'm going to take a paper plate and put in here. And we'll go ahead and turn off the power to the fridge. Then very simply, going to put a paper plate down here. Put my pot in, probably down here. And we're going to close the door and we're going to let it sit for about 30 minutes. Okay? Let's see what it looks like then. Alright, it's been a half hour, just a couple of minutes more. Let's see how we've done. Oh yeah, you can see a lot of it is going away. So you have a couple of choices at this point. That water is no longer steaming. And that steam is what gets up in here. The steam rises and melts that out. Now, if you're hooked up to electricity, all you'd have to do is you could take out a hairdryer if you got one and blow that with the hairdryer on about medium heat, and it's going to defrost and fall off very quickly. All right. The other option is, if you're not hooked to electricity, no air dryer, just heat up one more pot of hot water, stick it in there, and that's going to be gone in 20 minutes. All right? So we'll get that cleaned up, put our stuff back in, and then I'm going to do the freezer, and I'm going to do it the same way. Now, when you're doing the freezer, I found that using the hairdryer worked really good to get that frost off. But you can see I've got a good buildup of frost back there. So sometimes I get a little impatient and Marie Calendar, look at that frost back there. And I'll pull out, I'll go ahead and put the hot water in there, let it steam up, and then take the hairdryer, and I'll use a little, you can use a credit card or anything, and just gently scrape those sidewalls a little bit, and that frost will just fall off. It'll just come right off. Use a rag to dampen it up because there is no drain in there. Okay, so just a quickie on how I do it, and it's been about probably 2 months continuously running, and we're in a humid area, so that's why it frosted up so much. Oh, P.S. Never buy this Taipei stuff. This is awful. It's not even close to yuck. Don't buy it. Don't buy it. Alright, so you know what I'm gonna do. You know where I am. I'm at the newer bathrooms. Now there is one down there, but I'm gonna bet that one's pretty old. Looks fairly nicely painted outside, but let's see what we got inside here. There are just these 2 bathrooms in this camping area. So get focused. There you go. Is that focused? I can't tell. I don't think so. There we go. There we go. So what we got over here are 3 showers. There's the regular type. This one, they're not charging you for. Okay. So there's 3 showers here, and then a handicap access shower. Not too bad. Not too bad. This one is a lot cleaner than the last park we came from. And you have a couple of sinks, air dryer, urinal for the men. Women will have 2 stools, I'm sure, and then a handicap access. So, not really that shabby. There's no cobwebs like I've seen elsewhere, no insects, pretty nice. So, I think this would pass about anybody's test. Okay, We're down over that way, just over that camper. Still a few people hanging around. It is a hot and humid day today. We are getting ready to head out of here today, and we're going to go to a regular RV campground. That is, it's not a state park national, it's just a RV camp park. I'm not sure why I did that, but anyway, we're going to be there for 4 nights. So we're getting ready to head out of here. Now, this park is, I would say, mostly tenting. At least everybody that's here. There's a lot of tenters here. Not very many RVs. Just a few on the south side where there's additional campgrounds up there. But overall, this was pretty nice. This was a good one. It is hilly, so there are hills everywhere around here. Nothing is on the level. It's just not going to happen. 2 suggestions when you're here. One is to go to Pea Ridge Military Park, and that is only about like 12 miles north, and it is amazing. The visitor center thing wasn't open, but you can drive around it, and it has grab one of these if you can somewhere, and it explains it. But at each spot, I think there's 11 spots, it'll give you a history of that Civil War encounter, and it's really amazing. Also, on the other end, on the south end, out about the same thing, 12 miles, is War Eagle. And War Eagle, there's a mill there, and there's some caverns. We didn't get to go to the caverns, and yesterday had a little issue with the truck and spent a lot of time getting nothing done, but we lost the whole day, so we were going to do that. But those, we did go to the War Eagle Mill, and that was really nice, and the drives around here are gorgeous. So get out there, enjoy, see things in the area, and just stay safe, have fun, and I hope this helped out. Thanks, guys.